Hold on.
Is it butt?
Yeah, that's what it was. It's probably fucking. Is probably what it was.
Can you asterisk it?
Yeah, I'm gonna try butt. Hold on. I'm just gonna do butt F bunch of asterisks to get around it.
Butt F asterisk 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 KN.
UCKING. Time. Here we go. Hey, no banned words.
All
Okay,
right.
Let me make sure we can hear each other on the fucking stream. Do you have it ready?
Yeah.
Then I'll hit the intro music. It's not. It hasn't loaded for me. Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, we're good.
We're good? Sweet. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, let's hit that intro music, baby. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's butt fucking time. Because now you're dicking around.
It's butt fucking time.
Because now you are dicking around with Josh and Philbo, your favorite podcast. At least it better be your favorite podcast. I'm one of the sub-hosts who's a piece of garbage, trash, not even worthy of being in the same podcast as the god of podcasting himself. But I'm Philbo.
And I am the god of podcasting, apparently. My name is Joshua, but I go by Josh on this. Yeah, no, it's interesting you bring it up because I have been talking to other potential producers and co-hosts, and you're hanging on by a thread, bud.
Well, I mean, look, between me and Dildo, are you kidding me? Dude, I've been writing you out of our contracts going forward, for like months now.
Look, I've only seen Dildo in 2 out of 26 episodes, so I don't know.
For your ass, Josh. It's butt fucking time. Oh god. So by the way, a little bit of context for the title. So butt fucking time is what I call the Georgia offense, because one way or the other, either we're gonna be fucking somebody in the ass or they're gonna be fucking us in the ass, because it's been a bit of a slow start to the season.
and by a slow start, it's a combined score in the first 2 games of 100-10.
Right, exactly.
So, god damn it, get your shit together, boys. We expect more.
It's funny because we have been beating these teams like 40 in the 40s to 3, right? But obviously we should be doing way better. We should have been scoring. Our first quarters have been atrocious against no-name teams. And I would probably venture to say Ball State is probably a better team than TN or UT Martin, whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah, well, they were 1-0 coming in, so.
Well, they're probably also like Ball State, like, although they're definitely not like a big team, but like they hang around, every once in a while.
They also, who did they play in the first game? Dick State,
right?
Like, I'm sure it was
Shap State,
right?
Buttfuck State,
right? They definitely didn't play Alabama last week.
They played Blue Mountain State in season 1.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So they did not have their shit together.
Now it's time for Drug Olympics.
Oh god. So
fantastic fucking show, by the way.
Dude, I only watched it the one time, and
you never saw the movie. You got to watch the movie.
I've never seen the movie. And it's funny too, is looking back on the show, it's funny that like they never play any football ever until the last episode. It's all just about fucking around in the football frat house the entire time. Yeah,
it's the in-between. It's what you want to know. Like, what are these players doing when they're not playing on Saturdays? And this gives you a pretty... Now, just judging on what goes on every year in college football just based on, like, arrest records, this is pretty accurate for a party school.
You're probably right. Yeah, like at FSU, obviously consistently one of the highest ranked party schools. Yeah, I mean, you got it. You bet their staffers are just they're worn out, man. They got to be switching them out between every game.
Right. Yeah, they have a stable of 140 of them. They just have to rotate them out like defensive linemen.
They actually race Lamborghinis at Florida State. They just forgo the Tahoes altogether.
They're dressed as Seminole Indians.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, exactly.
Fucking great.
So anyway, I know you don't have a tequila for us this week. I think we should do the theme song anyway, or should we do?
We're not gonna do the theme song. No, we're gonna do. Did you ever see Green Street Hooligans with the with Charlie Hunnam and Elijah Wood?
Negative. With Elijah Wood.
Oh, listen, it goes fucking hard, man.
I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, no, it goes hard. Charlie Hunnam carries it. Elijah Wood plays a pussy that gets hard eventually. It's essentially a movie about the hooligans, like the little firms that they have around all of the soccer teams in England.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, and it's basically Charlie Hunnam plays Jax, the lead on Sons of Anarchy.
Right, I've heard his name before. I've never watched Sons of Anarchy either. But
yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, to try and put a name to who he is, but he's basically like his brother-in-law is Elijah Wood. He gets kicked out of college, comes across the pond, and he's trying to teach him like how things go. And his brother like basically pays him to like not have to deal with him, so he takes him like to his firm is what they call it, but basically it's just going to a pub and getting shit faced before a soccer game and then fighting afterwards.
Gotta love it.
And yeah, and he explains the whole like how you do it and how they decide and whatever this and that, and lays the rules out for him. But it's basically like a coming of age for Elijah Wood. Like he learns how to get punched in the face, and it's almost like if Fight Club was British.
Gotcha. Okay. And not about a psychopath.
No, there's a psychopath involved, and there's a twist. I want you to watch the movie, so I'm not going to tell you the twist. It does have a twist. It's not a Fight Club-esque twist. Like, they're all real people. But wait, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
I've never seen Fight Club. I've never seen that movie.
All right, well, that's the end of the podcast, everybody. That is the end of the podcast. No, but there's this awesome fucking song that they sing, and it's like they sing it as a firm, but like on the way to the soccer match, but everybody's fucking like chanting and shit like during it.
Yeah.
It's the Blowing Bubbles song. Have you ever heard that? It's actually a traditional British drinking song.
Okay.
Like
we pull it up.
I've been blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles in the air. They fly so high, they reach the sky, and as our dreams they fade and die, fortune's always hiding. I've looked everywhere. I've been blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles in the air. You know I can!
All right, well that's our drinking trip today.
If you and we're going with Gordon's traditional London Dry Gin.
That's probably your favorite like shitty gin, yeah.
It's not shitty gin. It's just gin.
Okay. Excuse me.
No, it's really not shitty gin. It's like it's basically we'll just say it's the Smirnoff of gin.
Does that mean I can ice you with it?
No. I mean, yeah, I'll drink it anytime.
You're like, wait a second, hold on. Yes. Yeah.
But I'm actually mixing today, and I found this fucking gem at Food Lion. The Food Lion Black Cherry Soda.
Ooh.
It's a little heavy for me. It's a little heavy on the sugar, but it's like tart enough to get around the sugar, but it's also caffeine free, and it's fucking delicious. So
that does sound delicious. I just thought of something. I don't know if we had mentioned this before, but Cooter will be at the wedding, so I really think you should ice him. I just thought of that just now as I mentioned that. It would be so fucking funny.
I'm gonna ice Cooter. I'm gonna ice Gator.
Put one in your jacket pocket, and then just be like,
no.
"Hey, how's it going, man?"
I'm gonna ice Gator during the ceremony. just a little tux jacket switch, because if you can arrange. Wait, you said you were arranging by height, so he'll be on the far side.
He'll have to pass it down. Yeah.
So he's gonna be behind me, because if he's behind me, it's gonna be hard to do.
Yeah, he'll be behind you. Or I guess, or he may be in front of you. I don't know. I don't think we're going tallest. I don't know how we're doing it. So, I don't know. You could do that, except that my wife would probably cut your head off right there and then.
Well, considering you're like, no offense, but you're one of the shortest people in the party, wouldn't it make sense to cascade the other way?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, we'll put you up next to Annie, and because she's the tallest.
Look, I'll stand in for you, bud. Don't worry.
I appreciate it. Can you give her a kiss for me too?
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to annul the Monica shit because we're not doing the fucking.
Actually, I'll have to pass the kiss down the line, so I'll have to kiss somebody else, and I'll have to kiss you, and then.
You know what? That sounds like a forward-thinking wedding, and it sounds kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Sounds progressive, doesn't it?
Anyway,
try canceling us now, fucktards. It's butt
fucking time. It's butt fucking time. But you got to do it in the cadence of Michael Buffer. It's it's butt fucking time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's butt fucking time.
Welcome to the main event of the evening. In one corner, you have Annie. In the other corner, straight from the Shires, standing at a sharp 5'10".
In one corner, you have a pencil. I mean, a human being who's 6 foot tall and 150 pounds soaking wet. In the other corner, you have what is often confused with a hobbit, mostly because his feet are hairy as fuck. Philbo Baggins.
Philbo Allison Baggins.
Allison? What?
Anyway, let me get the cheers out of the way. You're fucking stomping on my cheers here. Look, cheers, everybody. Raise your fucking sweet tea or whatever the fuck you have.
Oh yeah, I'm out of water.
Daddy needs a drink. And look, cheers to everybody. Thanks to all the subscribers again. Cheers to you guys, even the ugly one we don't really talk about. And then all the followers, you're all fucking brilliant. Mater, I know you're watching today, so cheers to fucking Mater too.
Cheers to Mater, baby.
And it's going to be a good episode. Cheers, everybody.
Hell yeah, it's going to be a great episode. Mostly because the first thing we got to get out of the way, I would say as always, but it kind of floats around, is sports. And first thing I'm going to say, we did kind of allude to it at the beginning. Obviously, Georgia's off to a rough start this year. We're only beating the shitty teams by 45 points, but obviously that comes from other issues. Our offense definitely seems slow to start, and we can't be playing that way against the big boys.
Also, special teams and defenses scored 3 times. So.
Yeah, which is incredible. The punt return today was fucking incredible. That was a great touchdown. I was like, oh, he caught. Okay, he's got a little room to work. Okay, maybe he'll get about 10 yards. And then I was like, oh, he's going to go all the way, isn't he? He's just going to fucking do it.
He's going, yeah.
Yeah. And my analogy was they oiled him up like the Roadrunner versus Wile E. Coyote, because that kid was just fucking God and nobody could touch him. Uh-oh, Josh said it. Oh, I thought I lost you for a second.
Yeah, no, I thought I lost you. You did this weird little thing, but I think we're still good. Let me double check.
I think we're good. No, we seem to be
no,
good.
we're fine. So, no, but Georgia, okay. So their offense, the way that we're playing, Carson Beck, I don't think is the number one issue. I mean, he does have he seems a
little inconsistent, but a lot of our receivers have just been dropping passing right to them.
Yeah, but like he wasn't getting any fucking reps last year.
Right, exactly.
It wasn't like he wasn't the guy that was coming in when we were up by 50 fucking points,
which is really fucking stupid. Because he's a freshman though, isn't he?
Yeah, because the other guy, the backup that comes in when we are up by 40 points now, yeah. Brock Vandegrift, he was like they were kind of grooming him as the guy this year, but then after signing him and Carson Beck literally won the job in camp, so he's still a viable option that does have reps and comes in and kicks ass. I mean. 2 completions for 77 yards. We'll fucking take it.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty incredible, and it'll be interesting to see how that relationship develops. I mean, there was always the Justin Fields, Stetson Bennett controversy. 2 years ago or 3 years ago? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were really upset about how Justin Fields was handled, and he came out and now he's starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Stetson Bennett is not for that matter.
Yeah, Stetson Bennett, he was the right call, right place. He was the right leader for that team. Exactly. Justin Fields went on to be fucking amazing at Ohio State, and
didn't win a national championship.
But
just because of the way it turned out.
But he's now getting his dick sucked for free and making millions and millions of dollars every Sunday.
Apparently free dick suckings are something they've been handing out to these kids since they turned 18 and walked on campus.
Yeah, no, I mean
before they even got there, is a lot of the stories we've covered, as we've seen.
Oh yeah, no, they keep a brood of staffers afoot. Don't worry.
Yeah, which by the way, we don't condone that. We're making fun of it in the system because it's kind of gross. And
well, it's not that I don't condone it because.
You're going to defend the dick suckings? Hold on, I want to hear I want to hear you take the stance. I want to hear you get us canceled.
First of all,
I got to sell him my right coin real quick. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
First of all, if it's a consensual dick sucking, you will never put me behind a podium, sir. Ever.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Nobody puts baby in the corner. Listen. They're being paid fairly, and they're getting a free fucking master's degree. If they have to suck a 10-inch pole every once in a while, I don't know what the fucking problem is. And they agree to it. It's not like they're being held down or put in some type of contraption to hold them still. Like they're actually like the reward is not only the pay and the free master's degree, it's that they get to race Chevy Tahoes for free.
It's that the Georgia State Patrol just ignores them while they do 110 down 16.
They get unlimited access to different size Chevy SUVs at any given time.
And no matter how many times they've crashed those SUVs under, they still get reinsured and keep their driver.
Oh, it's fully insured. Don't worry, they got that rental back.
I mean, I would, I understand what you're saying. I would say that argument is more valid in a very specific like prostitution scenario where both parties are. But at the same time, like the whole frontal lobe isn't developed until you're 25. Like, can you truly enter into a fully consensual mature relationship before that time? I feel like that would be.
Well, we're not talking about relationship. We're just talking about dick sucking.
I know. I understand.
Hang on a second. We're crossing bridges. Crossing bridges we don't need to cross.
I don't even mean that. I just mean like a contractual exchange of some kind.
Well, but at the same time, they're not given upfront explicit instruction to do such. They're just told that they're there for the comfort of the players. Now, however you take that, and however that the implication,
and I would argue that that's very wrong to do to a bunch of young women who are trying to make their way in life.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Like I said, I'm taking a neutral stance. I'm not going to stand up and talk against it. I mean, everybody seems to win in this scenario. I mean, it's not like you're not like you're ruining your mouth by handing it out once or twice a week.
Jesus Christ. And regardless of whatever stance we do take, it will continue to go on, it seems, for a very long time.
They're just not allowed to have orthodontic work done until their master's is complete.
Right.
That's the only catch. Because nobody wants a toothy, bracy blowjob.
Right. Well, I'm going to do the brave stance thing here, Josh, and I'm going to come out against it. You can applaud me later for saving our brand. But anyway.
We're dicking around. If we're against blowjobs, what do we stand for?
You're right,
what do we stand for?
I need to sit down and shut up and let more capable.
You need to fucking reevaluate exactly how you feel about blowjobs. I'm just
a straight white male trying to take control here, as is my God-given right. So
it's a tough time. It's a tough time. Sometimes we gotta stand up for things or stand against things we truly believe.
I'm trying to get a hold of my privilege. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean it's a real thing. Anyway, we do have a we do have a half. We do have a half legitimate opponent next week in South Carolina.
Yeah,
and they're half legitimate
being the key. Yeah, half legitimate being the key. Yeah, I will still beat them. The question will just be what I would say anything less than a 21-28 spread is unacceptable.
Well, we're also supposed to have our top receiver back next week in Lad McConkey.
McConkey.
Dude, that kid is a fucking animal.
Dude, he's he's really good. I remember because I was talking to you about him last year. And like he's fucking insane. For some,
that kid's like Wes Welker reincarnate.
I know, right?
Like he's just the toughest little white boy. Now we got to talk about Cash Jones too. Talk about tough little white boys.
He looks like literally like he looks exactly like a Scandinavian peasant farmer.
Yeah, exactly.
Like straight out of a fucking like background character in a medieval film.
Yeah, or like like Loki from the Avengers had a child that's like mildly retarded.
That's nowhere near as the sex god that Tom Hiddleston is. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, just a little off. Like the mom had a big forehead and fat thighs.
By the way, now I got to go back and bleep that shit out. So you get a chop.
No, I'm allowed to say retarded is that's a medical term. I'm not saying something is retarded, saying it like with a negative connotation.
I think we just gotta cut it all out. I'm not even taking chances.
Let's see how many times I can explain and say retarded.
Right. There's just gonna be a random black spot in the fucking recording now. People are gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
And we're back.
And we're back. Yeah, I totally get it. Just not something we're taking chances with. But what was I saying?
Fair enough.
What were you saying?
Yeah, because I think Twitch is definitely a lot more lenient than like maybe Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, 100%. And it's not even that. It's just like if some dumbass out there is like, these guys are saying the R word, you know, and like they go on some great crusade to cancel us on a social media that we don't have or something, you know.
We'll be more famous than we are now.
I don't want the plane to be crashed into the two towers before we've hijacked it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we're doing 9/11 jokes right before 9/11.
You know what I'm saying? I just I feel like that analogy is valid.
Right before 9/11, we're doing the 9/11.
All right, so let's just cut it all out. Let's just this whole episode is lost.
Anyway, we're done. Hang on. We'll be back in 5.
Look, Daniel Tosh taught me 9/11 jokes are okay. Okay, so we're fine.
Oof,
it's been 23 and a half years.
When's the last time you heard from Daniel Tosh?
It's been 22 and a half years. Dude, his stand-up was I always loved his stand-up. His show, never great. His stand-up was fucking fantastic.
The first couple seasons of his show was good, but
yeah, and then it dove off a cliff.
And then it just like no, it's not even that. It was just oversaturated. Like at that point, it was still kind of like you had to go on your laptop and look up YouTube and go like look at viral videos.
Right.
But then like through the progression after the first couple seasons, like that's when smartphones really became prevalent. And now everybody's already seen this shit before you put it up.
Yeah, that's
and your jokes aren't that funny because they've already been made 100 fucking times.
The top 3 comments are 99% funnier than anything you can say.
Well, yeah, because you're limiting yourself to a Wednesday night airing on a Tuesday recording when like 1,000 assholes have already commented on Saturday. Exactly. So yeah, it kind of. I mean, it stayed on for I think way too long, but like,
yeah, it stayed hit because it went on for like 12 seasons, right? Like
yeah, it did.
It had a long run.
But that's I mean that was his fame. I mean, there for a while he was top 5 stand-ups in the world.
His stand-up was just so fucking good.
Like, yeah, no, his stand-up, and the only thing that I didn't like about Daniel Tosh is the people that he brought into the game and gave a chance, because I can't fucking stand any of them.
Who did he bring in?
God,
Dane Cook or something?
No, Dane Cook is way before him. Dane Cook is
way before him.
Way before him.
I mean, his actual. Well, I guess I don't know, because Dane Cook is he's early 2000s.
Yeah,
like early 2000s, but yeah, like 2000 and forward.
No, but I mean, like when he blew up was early 2000s. Dane Cook was like fucking touring in '95.
Was he?
Like,
I guess that.
Yeah, he was like he and Louis C.K. were kind of like Louis C.K.
Oh my god, that's weird to think about them at the same time, because talk about a talent disparity.
Well, I mean, you know they had a feud too.
Did they really? Let's not. Let's not focus on news from 20 years ago.
Anyway,
we never finished sports.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so moving on. A little bit. Look, first of all, go Dogs.
It's always. It's got to do. I feel like you got to do 3 because that's what we're chasing right now.
Oh, we're going for 3.
Hell yeah, baby.
The only question is, I mean, the only team we have on the docket that could legitimately knock us off at this point would be Tennessee.
Yeah. and even that with the playoff system, bro. Like, I mean, we could lose to Tennessee and still.
And also, so all right, so let's cover this. Let's get away from the dogs a little bit, but let's go with the SEC. So next year, let's just say whatever happens this year, it doesn't matter. We're going to three-peat, but let's say that happens or it doesn't happen. It doesn't matter because next season we're getting Texas and Oklahoma, who are perennially ranked.
Yeah.
So
always a program.
We're getting both of those, but how do you realign the conference though? Because right now, I mean, it's
two Western teams.
It's widely known that the West is stronger than the East. I mean, in the East, you have every year you have Georgia, and then like
maybe
whoever else might be in the top 20, but no real contenders.
Right.
And then in the West, I mean, every year you got fucking Alabama, LSU, Auburn, Texas A&M, like and then you add Oklahoma and Texas.
They're going to have to shift an Alabama team. They don't have a choice. It
would have to be Auburn or Alabama that comes to the East, right?
And if Alabama, I mean, that would be the worst case scenario for the Dogs. Alabama coming over. I feel like Auburn coming over might make the most sense because, and I don't know, because that's the problem. Because they talk about it, the oldest rivalry in the Deep South, quote unquote, between Auburn and Georgia.
Yeah,
but they can still keep the rivalry in the same conference. You would think.
Yeah, dude. That has nothing to do with it. I mean, you can like Auburn and Alabama are a big rivalry too. No, they're a big rivalry too, but they're in the same sub-conference. So
yeah, that's true. But that's an in-state. In-state rivalries are always different, though. That's always a different like carve out. Because like
either
there's
way,
no reason
Auburn would still
attack, but we are.
But they. So the only thing that it probably would affect would be the newly in the last like 10 years rivalry between Alabama and Tennessee.
Right.
Because Tennessee, they kind of rely on that, like that chance of that upset every year. Mm-hmm. And there's really no reason on paper to hold that together if Alabama does come over.
Like, you know what? We're dumb. It has to be more than one team because they can't.
It wouldn't. There's no way they would move Alabama and Auburn. There's no way.
I don't know, dude.
There's no way.
You say that, but I don't. What other choice? They could do like Alabama or Auburn and Ole Miss. Like that would be the only way to get around it. But that wouldn't make sense to leave like one of the Alabama teams essentially stranded in the Western Conference. I mean, I know stranded.
I mean,
geographic terms only.
But realignment, you can. I mean, every team's in play essentially. So, like, why wouldn't you put Missouri in the West?
Because that would fuck it up too much.
No, I mean you're adding
in the East, right? So
Kentucky's in the East.
Yeah. So there's
Vandy's in the East. Yeah. Kentucky's in the East. We have
Carolina,
Mississippi State, Florida, South Carolina.
We're not counting Georgia.
Georgia, that might be it.
That's it. 14.
I mean, right Missouri is not in the East, like geographically speaking.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say. I thought because I was like, wait, I thought they were in the East. Yeah, but yeah, geographically speaking, yeah, they're definitely on the western half of that divide. I mean, so is Mississippi State for that matter. Mississippi State is in the West. So, I don't know.
So to actually even it out, you would have to add 2 power teams to the East and lose at least 1 weak team from the East.
So, I mean, but that would to even it out, but I mean, these programs, the only program that doesn't ebb and flow over time is Vandy. I mean, every program has had their time in the sun. It's not, you can't really think about it for the next like 5 to 10 years. You got to think about it for the next 50 years. Alignment. I
mean, honestly, when you think about it, without completely realigning, which I don't think they'll do, because they didn't split until it hadn't been 10 yet. So, I don't think. I mean, maybe the easiest thing to do is Texas in the West, Oklahoma in the East.
That would be the easiest way to do it, but they're not going to do that. I feel like they're not going to do that because the problem is too, because then Oklahoma would then have to travel, or Texas, they'd have to travel across the region to play all of their in-conference games. Like that doesn't make much sense at all. Now you can make Missouri kind of has to do that because it's so far north.
Look, I don't think we're concerned with making sense at this point. Just like Stanford and California joining the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Yeah,
literally. Unless they play each other, they're traveling 3,000 miles.
Also, is it like Cal, like literally on the Pacific Coast or something? Like one of those schools, they're like literally.
Stanford is Northern California, and it's literally like 10 miles from the ocean. Like,
yeah,
it's 3,000 miles. It's like 2,800 miles. Like that's that's a fucking 12-hour plane ride.
Yeah, 100%. What I'm trying to find that they have a picture of the school, because I think one of those. Okay, maybe it's not that school. One of them I thought was like literally on the Pacific, like you can see the ocean from a big enough shot. Maybe it's Stanford. I don't know. I forget where Stanford is.
I think it's Stanford.
Yeah, it might be Stanford. Let me look at overhead shots of Stanford. But yeah, I mean it's a little ridiculous, you know. We all have Lewis and Clark to thank for that. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. I'm seeing. It looks like Stanford's kind of in a desert. So, like, are they in like San Diego or something? I don't know.
No, they're north.
Oh, they're in the north. Okay.
Yeah, it's above LA, but
Anyway.
Well, I was trying to look because you would think that they would actually have already decided on that, right? Like,
I'm sure. Oh yeah. I mean, whatever. We're just conjecturing what the actual plan is. I'm sure probably hundreds of people know what they're gonna do. You know, I'm sure it's already been discussed and deliberated. That's probably part of what they discussed when they decided to bring them in the first place. So,
because I mean, putting them both in the West, I don't know. Do you bring two teams in and put them in the same sub conference?
I don't know.
I mean,
hold on. Let's see if there's an article about it already.
SEC alignment 2024. Why won't my fucking thing click?
Decided to continue playing 8 league games for the 2024 season. Doesn't say anything about a conference. Oh wait, are they saying they're like suspending the conference format? It says temporarily pausing long-term conversations about whether to increase its intra-conference. Oh, they're just talking about. Okay, no. They're just talking about like whether or not you'll play more conference games because you'd have to play.
So they play eight conference games plus one.
Right, basically.
Well, no, they play plus one. You have to play 8 from your conference, and then at least 1 from one of the other power conferences. So ACC, Big 10, Big 12, or Pac 12.
Right.
And here we go.
Go longer. Okay, so
here we go.
All right, play it out.
It says conference opponents, but I don't think they're not gonna realign until 2025 is what they're saying. So next season it's a free for all. It's basically back to like 2010 SEC where it's just one big conference.
Yeah, because it's saying, because that doesn't make any. Yeah, it looks like they're just like in random conferences.
Yeah, so like next year, Georgia plays Auburn, Florida, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky, Ole Miss, and Texas.
Right.
So basically, they're just
Texas. Texas is man. I'm so happy we're bringing them in because the competition is going to remain fierce.
Yeah, and then, but so basically, they're splitting Oklahoma and Texas between the conference. So, like, certain teams will play Oklahoma, certain teams will play Texas.
That's probably the best way to do it until they figure out what the fuck they're going to do.
And then apparently certain teams, like Ole Miss, doesn't play either one.
Right.
No, they do. I'm sorry. They play Oklahoma. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But,
I guess that can make sense.
Sorry. Vanderbilt. Oh, no, they get Texas. No, so they just split Texas and Oklahoma between the conference.
And that's just,
And we get Texas, which I feel like is the worst end of the stick.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. Well, that game tonight against Alabama will be really interesting to watch. I hope they beat Alabama, obviously, but I think, I don't even think Texas is ranked right now, so I'd like to see what happens. But they weren't ranked last year. Oh, they are?
Oh, they're ranked high.
They're ranked 12th. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah, they're ranked high.
But I don't think they were even ranked last year, or they were ranked something like 20th when they almost beat Alabama.
I don't know. Oklahoma's ranked like top 15 too, I think. Either way, it's definitely an addition to the SEC. But now here's my question on that. So with the news that Colorado, first of all, we gotta give props to the Buffaloes. Deion Sanders and company is fucking tearing ass. I loved his approach to the press conference after last week's game. He fucking comes up because they beat TCU, who was the runner up for the national championship last year, and they dogged him out. And he comes up and said, "All right, before I take any questions, I have a question for you. Do you believe now?" I was like, dude, that's so fucking badass.
That's pretty badass. Why the fuck is Washington ranked 8th?
I don't know. Utah's ranked 12th, and they barely fucking beat a no-name team today. There's a lot of craziness right now in the rankings. There usually is at this point in the season. It'll get sorted out by week 6.
And that shit just pisses me off because I know it doesn't piss me off, but there's always teams that start out just so fucking overranked. Washington, they're ranked 8th. They beat Boise State the first week, 56-19. The fact that Boise State even scored 19 points is like a travesty against mankind. They should be executed for it.
Yeah, well, not everybody is Georgia though. I mean, Georgia, we're upset if they score a touchdown. if Georgia allows a touchdown, we're upset.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're like learning ways to get Uga in shape and just grind it out the next week. We're chopping wood with the fucking boys during practice. Everybody has to take a hit from their neighbor the next week and be like, "How are we gonna get better?"
Yeah, but you mentioned Washington, but at the same time, so next year Colorado, and this wasn't a Deion Sanders decision. This was way bigger than him, and it happened before they brought him. Mm-hmm. But they're moving to the Big 12 next year. But the Pac-12 that's a much stronger conference, especially with no Oklahoma and no Texas.
Right.
So moving to the Big 12 will actually hurt them if they're looking. Because look, this season it's still a 4-team playoff. Look, they're not going to make it. I hate to tell you Deion Sanders fans out there, they're not going to make it. They don't have.
Sucks because in the 12 team format next year, I think they have a pretty damn good chance.
I don't think they make it next year either. I give them 2 years with fucking stud recruiting, top 5 recruiting.
If the 12 team format was this year, I'd say they stand a pretty good chance.
Nah, man, I don't think so because the Pac-12, dude, they got some real fucking motherfuckers out there. They got they not only Washington. Look, they're not SEC caliber, but they're a good team. But they also have number 6 USC they have to play. They have number 13 Oregon that they have to play. They have I think they have 4 or 5 ranked teams on their schedule. So I mean, we'll see. They're ranked now and they're playing good ball, but they're not going to go undefeated. I hate to burst anyone's bubble.
I agree. They're not going to go undefeated, but I mean, think about but you don't have to go undefeated to be ranked 12th. I mean, you could lose probably 2 games and still be ranked 12th. And I think, and obviously, there's a lot of hype on the team right now, but I think what's good about that program, and I think a little bit to what you're saying, especially with them going into a new conference next year, they're going to get a lot of attention. People, all of a sudden, Colorado is going to be on the map even more so than it is now. And
they're already America's team right now.
Right, exactly. And that's really going to affect so I think 2-3 years from now, to your point, they'll have the recruiting to back it up. Not that they had a pretty strong recruiting class this year too. But I'm just they're all of a sudden it's they're going to be competing with, Georgia and Alabama for the top picks. That's just the way it's going to go. Or maybe
I agree,
not even that high, but they're definitely stronger recruiting classes.
A big thing about that though is it's not just recruiting high schoolers. It's going to be transfers in. Just
exactly.
Georgia went back to back there. Look, our offense on Philbo and Josh's standards is not up to par, but I mean they literally got 2 of the best SEC receivers transferred over. Ra Thomas and what's the other guy's name? literally they had Auburn's best receiver, and I think the other guy was from like Mississippi State. But like two of the top receivers from last season transferred over, right. And it's just because they want to win a fucking title. Like they're okay taking like a quarter of the reps,
right,
just to fucking be on a winning team. Yeah. And I mean that's how they think now, because when you're with a big program and you win, you don't have to be as good to get drafted high.
And it's not only that too. I think NIL plays a little bit into that too, because the sponsors, the brands, they don't really care about, and it's very regional too, especially with college football. I mean, even with the NFL, there's a lot of more like regional stuff that plays into it. But all of a sudden, like instead of maybe you're making $40,000 with your sponsorships, all of a sudden you can be making like $80,000 with your sponsorships, and you're playing less, and you're making bank. So I think that that's probably not as big a part of it, because I think obviously the goal remains to get into the NFL and get paid millions of dollars a year. But I think that probably plays a little bit of that's got to be in the back of a kid's mind, like, oh, all this money that I can't spend anyway, except on alcohol and bitches, maybe. Oh, you're saying I can get double that amount of money and do less work? Okay, and stay healthier for the draft? Yeah, let's do that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's a win-win-win-win-win.
Exactly.
I mean, everybody essentially wins except for the smaller colleges. Like if you're not, like even if you're in a power, like a power conference, you're not going to compete. Like a Mississippi State, a Vanderbilt, a Missouri is not going to compete with an Alabama, a Georgia, an LSU.
Right.
It's just not going to fucking happen.
But I've made this point before, and I think this is the last thing. I'll say, you could wrap it up too. But this about football, because we got to move on. But I've made this point before. I actually think NIL will actually disperse talent more evenly, and I think you disagree with me on this. But the reason being is because, obviously it's all about the scramble to the NFL and trying to make it through that filter. But let's say you have a Justin Fields situation, but not exactly, like the guy's not quite as good as Justin Fields. Why wouldn't he go to, like, let's just pull a random school out of the hat, like a Toledo or like a Fresno State? If there's like a big, company that's headquartered over there saying, hey man, if and they go in and be like, hey look, if you come over here, we'll give you $120,000 a year for the sponsorship if you just fucking come over here and play your junior and senior year over here. Why? I feel like that is gonna, and obviously it won't be as dramatic as that example every time, but I just feel that now that these kids can earn money, I feel like it's going to be a little bit, it probably might be a little bit more like basketball, where you have these smaller schools that for some reason just always have really good teams. And I think you'll start to see a little bit of that spread out. I would imagine most of that would probably start in California and like New York, because that's where like a lot of big money is in the nation. But just stuff like, I think that'll start happening more and more.
I think so, but I also think it has a lot to do with the branding of a university, like a small university. So now not everybody's going to get the hype like a Deion Sanders is going to bring, exactly. But like the resurgence or the I guess initial surge of like USF a few years ago, where you just have USF is undefeated at 9-0, and everybody's
UCF,
like
UCF,
UCF, Central Florida. Yeah, I'm sorry.
The USF still sucks. Don't worry.
But yeah, no, but the branding that they put forward on that is like basically like they're making their own T-shirts and selling them online, and it's not like the university's never done that. Georgia, you can go on their fucking shit and go in the shop and buy whatever the fuck you want.
Spend $50 for a shitty T-shirt, yeah.
Yeah, or go to CVS and buy the same one for $5.
Exactly.
But no, when UCF did that, like a lot of other smaller colleges started branding themselves. I think like a big part of that was like Maryland. Maryland, in the grand scheme of things, is not a small college, but when they went with the funky uniforms and branding themselves and like just changing their whole image, and then you actually win more than 7 games in a season, and you're actually like giving decent teams a run for their money, like all that in tandem. Now, I agree with you. I mean, there is going to be some of that. That's why we're going to have Heisman candidates coming out of like San Diego State, is because somebody's going to offer somebody $20 million to come fucking play there, and it's actually going to happen.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's only going to get more and more every year. Like these numbers, just like it does in the NFL.
yeah, no, it's in its infancy right now. There's like
Exactly.
you can't gauge what's going on.
Mhm.
But like I told you, one of the funniest things, I don't know if you've taken a look at it or knew it was a thing, but Deion Sanders, Coach Prime on Amazon Prime is
Yeah.
No, that's a show.
Yeah, I know.
And he actually had Nick Saban on the show just to diss him.
Walk into my house, boy. You're going down. I like that. That's funny.
Because you remember Saban was a big part of. He denounced several different programs. He denounced Muschamp over in Auburn.
Because
He
Saban's
denounced
a fucking asshole.
Yeah, well, it's
He's a
because
total prick.
he's now getting beat by all of his apprenti,
Yeah.
and but he no, he openly denounced like the players getting paid and that being a reason to go anywhere, and he specifically noted not only Muschamp but Deion Sanders in that when he was at Jackson State, like. I think he mentioned nepotism because he brought his son on at Jackson State, and which, as you can see, the kid can fucking ball.
It is, yeah. It is technically nepotism, but it's like if George Washington was your nephew, and you're like, I'm gonna get this kid in the military so he can do some shit.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're putting an army together, and Stonewall Jackson is your cousin.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah.
Well, no shit. There's nepotism.
Yeah, no, he was in either way. Don't you get it?
Exactly.
But no, he specifically noted, and he brought him on the show just to like interview him in the trailer. And he's like, I want you to apologize to me. And he's like, for what? And he's like, no, get out. This is a mistake. Get out. We're not calling you back either. He's like, we're not calling you back either. Just get out. Take the headphones off. You're done. I was like, yes. If I didn't fucking love Primetime before this, I fucking love him now.
He's a fucking stone cold killer, man.
Dude, he is fucking stone cold, man. That guy is my hero. He really is.
Yeah. He was like, what? I'm the best. I'm the most elite person in the world.
Like,
what?
He's like, what do you mean, Miami Dolphins?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's wrap up the football. I think we covered enough.
I think you're right. Let's move straight into baseball and talk about your roommate for a minute.
Ronnie!
Let me pull him up on the screen. Let's see.
Yeah, he's not here right now. He's actually getting ready to whoop the Buccos again tonight.
Now what is he up to? Now this is we don't need audio on this, obviously. But what's he up to now?
Oh, don't play this yet. Don't play this yet. He's at 30. That's 35.
35. There you go.
So he hit 2 the night before and 1 last night. But now here's my thing. I fucking love Ronnie. He's my boy. He lives with me sometimes. But
sometimes,
we had a big problem with him getting hit by pitches for a while,
dude.
And
yes.
So listen, now hear me out. I fucking love Ronnie. I love everything he does, but it's getting excessive at this point. The shit he does after this home run, he breaks like 5 different unwritten rules of baseball.
he's out there like doing the gritty down to first base.
No, dude, play it like literally. So he hits a fucking bomb above the bullpen, like 455. It's fucking crazy.
Is that not? Is this the one that was the hardest hit of the season too?
No. This one went further, but no, that was against the Dodgers. This was last night. So then, what it didn't show there is he does the too cold, the Trey. What's his name from the Atlanta Hawks? The
Trey Young.
Trey Young. He does the too cold. And the ice tray or whatever they call it. So first of all, he stares the ball down. You don't do that. You flip the bat.
I feel like a lot of people do that.
No, they do. Hang on. No, I do. But no, it's all in tandem. Like you can pick and choose what you do.
Right.
But he watches the home run until it lands. And then he flips the bat. And then he does the fucking ice tray. And then he does his Then he rounds first and does his normal like you're too small, holds the fucking his hand down. Then he rounds second and does his little fucking shimmy shuffle. And around third he holds his bicep because that's what he does when he low fives wash now. And then he does the goddamn wave across the fucking home plate. Like 4 minutes later after the home run, he's finally like doing the wave across home plate. I'm like, Dude, I'm just telling you, if I was the Buccos manager, he would be paying the next time. Saying.
I agree with you, and I don't like people being unsportsmanlike. I think here's the thing now, and it's funny like how much my views on this have shifted over the last couple of years, because I was so against the DH coming into the National League. I was so against like Ronnie like flipping his bat originally, but it's the way I feel like at this point, like who knows how these conversations go on. What a horrible slider. I mean, like just hung that right in there.
I think that was a sinker, but
was it? Okay.
Yeah, it folded to the right back into King Big Dick's bat.
No, that's a slider.
By the way,
just a shitty slider is the problem. And
that's the worst slider I've ever seen. Then, and that's Mitch Keller. That's like their best pitcher. By the way,
is that a two-seamer?
I don't know, but it didn't have any life on it. That's why it's hard to tell.
I think it was. I think it may have actually.
It definitely wasn't a slider because Mitch Keller doesn't have the arm strength to throw a 92-mile-an-hour slider.
It's probably a two-seamer, is what it was.
And then no, I gotta give shit to Gator because he's a Buccos fan. Because that's their best pitcher, and he got blown the fuck out last night.
Well, the Pirates, they had a good start to the season.
Hey, when we were at the cabin, they had the best record in the National League,
which was crazy. Which was fucking crazy.
And it actually changed 2 days later in the hot tub.
Yeah, it did. But, you were like, "Who?" You were like, "Bitch."
Don't talk shit, especially if you're a Pirates fan. Never talk shit. That's just a rule.
Yeah, exactly. He got no.
Don't talk shit. On. But no, I just feel like so. Ronnie started off as this young, dumb fucking kid, breaking all the rules. He was having fun. I could back him up because he wasn't doing shit like this.
Wait, hold on. Time out for a second. Hold on. I think how many games are left in the season? Because I think there's a good chance.
22.
Oh, we're going to hit 100 wins easily. So that's crazy.
Yeah, that's not the question. The question is, do we break the Braves record of 106? And we might.
Yeah. That's gonna be tough. 14 out of 22, so you got to do 15 out of 22. That's gonna be tough. Who's left on the schedule?
14 and 8, and we got to play the Phillies and the goddamn Nationals, and it's not a strong finish.
Wow. Okay.
We have a shot.
Mean, the Phillies are second in the division though.
Yeah, but we own them.
Yeah, I know.
They're also 14 and a half games back.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
woo,
15 games back as of today.
Woo, they're so awesome. Bryce Harper. Woo.
It's funny because traditionally it would and this is before. I would say this is before the Alex Anthopoulos era. The Braves would be the Phillies would be at 63 in second place. The Braves would be at 64 in first place, and that's how. And then we'd barely make the playoffs by the grace of God.
Yeah,
because then we get the wild card game and lose in September.
Listen, I don't want to talk about that. If we lose the goddamn Phillies in the playoffs this year, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
That's not happening. That's absolutely not happening. I mean, at this point, baby, it's not even a doubt. Like the Braves are going to the World Series. Like it's not even a fucking doubt because we're definitely.
Dude, that's so funny because we just took 3 out of 4 from the Dodgers, and Max Muncy, that shitty ass fat ass third baseman that fucking does nothing. Like he's like a fucking Schwarber. Like
I know
you
hate your big boys at third. I know.
No, but he's batting like 215 with like 30 home runs. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Nobody gives a fuck. And, like, all those home runs are in garbage time. None of them are clutch. You fucking be a lump and go fucking cause an error at third base. I don't want to hear your
butter at third
mouth.
base and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. Go eat a fried fucking Oreo at third base. You piece of shit.
God. This is why we're never going to be able to, once we make it, we're never going to be able to interview anybody in professional sports because they're just going to pull this clip up and be like, are you going to say that about our guys?
You piece of shit.
Because the access media around sports and Hollywood.
Well, as long as we don't have Max Muncy, Bryce Harper, who's my guy for the Angels?
Fucking the guy trying to fight people in the stands.
Yeah, Bonk.
Yeah, Bonk himself.
Anyway, what is his name? That fucking drives me. He's a third baseman too. Fuck him. But he stays hurt. He's just collecting checks.
Oh, now. Rendon. Rendon.
Yeah, Anthony Rendon.
That fucking dumbass.
As long as we don't have those guys on, we're fine.
Checks. You might as well retire and join and go hang out with Ken Griffey Jr. because he's just collecting checks.
Yeah, the Pujols Griffey Jr. club.
Honestly, Ken Griffey Jr. is still like in the top 50 of like currently played active players.
Yeah, no, he's still. I think he's like number 6 on the Reds payroll.
Yeah, no, fourth, which is just fucking crazy. Yeah.
But as long as we don't have them on it, like if we bring the legends on or like Braves guys or whatever, dude, trust me, we're fine.
Just get the guys who have been announcing in the box for the Braves games. Just get
Roddy would be like fuck Muncie. No, that's the only English he would speak. We would have his translator right here.
Right, exactly.
His translator would sit right here, and Roddy would sit on my lap.
It's funny because I'm just gonna say this one time because if it's still the same, I haven't seen his translator because I've been watching a lot of the press conferences. But if it's the same, is it the same guy from the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's like the light skinned Hispanic Venezuelan guy.
No, I thought he was like a white guy with really long hair.
He looks white. He's not a white guy.
Oh,
he's Venezuelan because like you got to think Venezuela's kind of like Curacao and all those little like outskirt nations where they have their own dialects and shit. So if you put somebody out there from Mexico, they would not understand half of what he's saying.
Right. Yeah, I've heard that plenty of times. They don't speak Spanish.
No, you're talking about the really light-skinned Venezuelan guy.
Right.
And yeah, it's still the same guy.
He kind of looks like if Trevor Lawrence didn't play football.
Yes. It's the same guy, but he goes full ponytail now.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, sorry, that's the only commentary I have about him.
But anyway, so Max Muncy came out after the series, he came out after the Braves were up 3-0 in the series and said, yeah, everybody's giving this hype like it's, like a postseason series, but if this was really the postseason, it's going to be different. Right. I'm sitting here like, what are you talking about? Number one, it's of course going to be fucking different because the Braves would have whooped the fuck out of you. Like, there's no way fucking Pierce Johnson comes in the 7th inning. You're going to see the cowboy AJ Minter. Don't worry about that. Like, don't you fucking worry. It'll be different. Now when he said that, this comes after the game. It was a very close game, game 3, and the Dodgers literally pulled out the playoff kitchen sink and like put one of their starters in middle relief and shit. Like they're trying to win the game, right? And then they just lose. And I'm like,
you're saying they're not being coached by Snicker? Is that what you're saying?
Right. No, they have good old Dave out there, Dave Roberts,
right?
Which he's not a great postseason manager, but we don't have time for that. But anyway, I was thinking, and I was like, yeah, Muncie, you fat piece of shit. You know what's going to be different after this series? After this series, we're not going to be playing in LA in the playoffs. It's going to be in goddamn Atlanta because we're taking the number 1 seed. You fucking turd! Yeah. Like, think before you speak. Yeah, there will be a major difference. The Braves will have home field.
Yeah, exactly. And they do great at home. They do fucking great at home.
We have the exact same record away at home.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at it right now. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, the exact same record.
Yeah.
The biggest difference from this season compared to even the World Series season or any season I remember is the day game record. Like, we are like king giant dick on day games.
Which is kind of weird.
Like, before, dude, we couldn't win a day game to save our fucking life. Like, every once in a while...
Yeah.
Every once in a while, we'd get like a double header and luck out on game 1. But like when it's just like a Sunday game at 4:00, yeah, you can chalk that shit up. I'm watching goddamn Family Feud.
What's funny is our home and our away record is the only team that is better. Oh, there's 2 teams in the MLB that it's just better than their overall record, and it's the A's and the Royals. Which is crazy because I've said that at many points throughout this year, and it's just crazy that it continues to be the case. That there's our home record or our away record is better than a team's overall record.
Yeah,
it's just sad.
But the Braves are insane, dude. We're well on pace to break the Twins' 2019 record.
And guess what the Dodgers' away record is? 39-30. That ain't 46 and 24, motherfucker.
Yeah, and they're gonna have a hard time hearing that tomahawk chop.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna be bringing in loud, man.
I don't know. I have a feeling they're gonna get spoiled before that, though. I just like the Braves and Dodgers got spoiled before. Like the Dodgers didn't go to the NLCS, right?
When
It was it was the Phillies and who?
Last year?
Yeah,
Let me look it up.
I think the Dodgers got beat by. It wasn't the Mets. Who was it?
Phillies, the Padres. That's right.
Padres. Yeah. So both.
I don't know how I forgot
that. Both top seeds exited very early in the NLDS, and I think they do it again this year, dude. Like I'm gonna go on record by saying,
crash.
Well, they're gonna get an NL East team.
Yeah.
Like, but here's the thing, dude. If they don't, if what I think is going to happen is going to happen, I think they might end up with the Brewers, and I think the Brewers might be the second best team in the National League because
I think they are. No, the Dodgers technically.
No, I'm not talking record wise. I'm talking. Look, just the Braves. Look, we took the season series. I think we took like 4 out of 6 from them, but. We didn't see Corbin Burns the entire time. We didn't see their fucking ace. They hid him from us. And they just got their other fucking like lights out ace back too. What's his name?
Let's see.
Oh god, it's Corbin Burns. They have 2 like fucking lights out pitchers. Like I'm talking like it's scary for the first 2 games in a 5-game series.
Woodruff Peralta?
Brandon Woodruff. And Peralta, I mean Peralta is
pretty solid too.
No, he's fucking steady, but Brandon Woodruff's fucking scary, dude. Like that guy can stand on the mound for 8 innings and you don't get anything. Like that's something that most teams in the National League don't have right now, and they have 2 of them.
Oh, they have Julio Teheran for some reason.
Yeah, well,
I did not know
that. Well, that's fine.
You got to have a 5th position guy.
Julio Teheran, didn't you go to the game when Julio Teheran was pitching?
Yeah, I did. Pretty sure I did.
No, you went to the White Sox game. Somebody was pitching for us during the White Sox game you went to.
Was it?
They used to pitch for us. No.
Where's Pulte at? I forgot.
I don't think he's in the league anymore.
He's not in the league anymore?
I don't think so. I haven't seen or heard anything from him in a long time.
Waived by the Rangers in October 21. Wow.
Yeah, I was about to say. He's probably traveling around, but he's nothing of note. But
wow, look at him. He's gone.
Dude, talk about the Rangers. The Rangers pitching staff.
The Rangers have been solid.
I mean, they got Scherzer now. They got Scherzer
now. Yeah, 70. Yeah, I mean they're a contender. They could easily get the a division game or a wild card game. In fact, well, it looks like they're probably. It looks like.
Who are you talking about?
The Rangers, because they're behind. They're behind the Mariners and the Astros right now in the West. But they're only 3 games behind the Mariners.
Dude, how about the fucking Mariners, bro?
Yeah, the home run trident, baby. Yeah, they're keeping it together, man. They're keeping it together.
That's a good squad.
Yeah,
we got one of the best rookies, the best young guys in the game, and
right.
J-Rod.
Yeah, they've been tearing it up, man. It's a good year. The Braves are just fucking amazing. So what are you gonna do? The Rays are behind the Orioles,
really fucking good,
which is just crazy. Like
they're 4 games back.
Yeah, which is fucking insane.
Shout out to Josh, our O's fan out there from TikTok.
Yeah.
Look,
they're only 3 games behind the Braves. I mean, obviously,
I'm gonna have to eat my words. I mean, I was wrong. They're a legitimate fucking team.
Not that anybody would have thought that you were going to be wrong.
But I'll eat my words. They're a good fucking team. Now, I don't think it'll come down to that. I think we get a rematch. I think it'll be the Braves Astros, and we'll destroy them again.
That would be interesting. I mean, honestly, I mean, dude, honestly, even the Twins could pop up. I mean, they're not a bad club either. It could
They're
be
not
anybody.
bad, but right now the trajectory is definitely the
Right.
Astros.
Well, the
But
trajectory the last couple of years definitely wasn't the fucking Phillies and the Nationals, and yet somehow they
I
pulled
mean, the
it.
Astros have been in the World Series the last 2 years. They won last year because they got
The Phillies
neither one of
suck.
the they got neither one of the big boys.
Yeah.
So, and I think MLB should do something like step in on that. Like, all right, we know you won, but at the same time,
We
uh,
like ratings, and therefore,
yeah,
the
those other two
Astros won
teams are
in
still better than you. I don't know.
the Astros won in 5 games or 4. I think 5 games, right?
Yeah, it was utter domination.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no doubt about it.
But I'd love to see the Astros again. I'd love to fuck up Verlander in the World
Oh,
Series.
6 games. Really? They played 6 games?
I don't know. I didn't really pay
That's
attention
what it says here on Wikipedia.
because I don't care about either one of those fucking teams. I hate one of them, and the other one is just they're the worst thing to happen to professional baseball in the last 20 years. So,
because they have Bryce Harper.
no, well, no, I was talking about the Astros, but with the trash can scandal. But
I'm still so upset we never got to wear our trash cans. If we play the Astros, though, we're so fucking doing that. I don't fucking care. We're wearing the goddamn trash cans. You're coming down. I'll blow up 15 air mattresses and put them across the entire apartment ahead of time.
you better have me a spot to sleep.
Yeah, dude. I think. Yeah. Anyway, we gotta wrap it up with baseball too, because we got some other shit we gotta talk about. But
that's a lot of sports, and we have something that we could.
Season.
Well, we have something that I mean, there's nothing I'd rather talk about right now than baseball or college football, but we do have some interesting stuff that we could talk for 4 hours about.
I think we should do the smaller story first, which is you want to wrap? You got any last words about sports before we move on? Besides, go Prime and go
go Prime, go Dogs, go Bravos.
Oh, yeah.
Look, we're coming for all kinds of records. We're coming for the World Series. Look the fuck out.
All right, so I think let's get the smaller story out of the way. So the Satan Club.
Yeah,
I didn't look into this. Hold on, let me go back to the full screen here. I didn't look into this admittedly, so I don't really know this story. But according to the headline, after school Satan Club event at Southern California Library draws protests. So usually these things, they're done as jokes, they're done as stunts quite normally. I don't really know if that's the case in this situation.
So this one's actually kind of different because this is actually put on by the Satanic Temple. Are you familiar at all with the Satanic Temple?
Is that the same organization as the Church of Satan, or is it technically separate, or like?
I'm
familiar with the Church of Satan, but not the.
No, it's separate. The Satanic Temple is actually a really big movement over the last few years, and they named themselves the Church of Satan because it's really just to it's to poke and prod at Christianity, but it's an atheistic movement, and they name themselves that just ironically. So they don't worship Satan.
Right. Everything Luciferians.
Right, because they don't believe in Satan. But so they in a pro versus con argument, they're taking con. But they also do a lot of humanitarian things. So
that's ironic.
Yeah, no, they do a lot of philanthropic endeavors. They do a lot of after school programs. They do a lot of things, but it's not learning about Satan or how to worship Satan, and it's not particularly against the Christian belief.
Right.
Really, what it is, it's just saying that it's the atheistic stance that's been prominent over the last 20 years. It's just saying morality doesn't need religion. It actually it precedes it.
Right.
So humans can be good without having to have a centralized imaginary figure telling you what to do. So they take that. Yeah, they take that stance. But now here in some of the comments I find funny because they even say that with this after school book club or whatever, they they refuse to set up any type of anything like this when there aren't Christians operating at the same time in the same place,
Right.
because it offers the children, like, they're not trying to take any type of religion away from the children, so they're using that kind of as a ploy, but really they're just trying to be antagonistic.
Right.
And
Right. They're just trying to poke and prod.
yeah, they're poking and prodding, but which I still think is funny. I mean, I get it.
Well, far be it for me to not laugh at somebody else's misery.
Right, but
or inconvenience, I guess, is really a better word to use.
But I mean, look, if you look at both sides, they are far worse entities than the Satanic Temple.
Yeah.
Like they're literally bringing, and this is like the after school program. Like, parents work, they don't have money for daycare, childcare, babysitters, whatever.
Right.
So literally, they're just giving them the option. Hey, walk over here. We'll read Harry Potter. Like, it's like we'll read something that, like, it's not
That's
directly it's not directly satanic, but those motherfuckers over there wearing like jean skirts are going to be really upset that we're doing it. So we're gonna
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Obviously, like, yeah, I mean, fundamentalists in any religion tend to be very annoying. So I totally get why they would want to fuck with them about it. So I totally understand that.
Yeah, and they do everything the correct way. It's like
Right.
It's like everything that Pastafarians don't do because they don't give a fuck.
Right.
It's like
exactly.
the Pastafarianism is basically like, we're gonna make fun of you, but from afar, and we're just gonna enjoy, like, we're gonna make up our own cool ass holidays and do whatever we want. Like the Satanic Temple, while the only thing that I've seen that's egregious that they've actually done, which I am a member, I get a quarterly newsletter. The only thing egregious that I didn't agree with that they've actually done collectively is they marched on a convention in Las Vegas on like flat earthers. It was like a flat earth convention.
I love that setup. Like, imagine you're going into like an improv comedy group, and it's like, okay, you're a Pastafarian and you're protesting flat earthers. Go.
Right.
Like, that just sounds like the most ridiculous premise of
I'm just saying,
time.
like, look. So you're self-proclaimed atheist, which fucking hates organization of any type of religious group, yet you organize, and then you're gonna attack another band of idiots that aren't bothering you or anybody else,
right?
And like, I feel like at a cellular level, it's friendly fire, but like in common sense, it's just a waste of time.
This is like, that sounds like an Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode, is what it sounds like.
It really does. It's like, I'm usually analogous. Like, there's no analogy for that. Like, a fucking
there's not
an organized group of atheists
that's just
attacks a group of flat earthers. Like, what the fuck? Like, were they at least serving good pizza? I don't know. Like,
yeah, for real.
Because there's nothing else of note. And the only reason I knew about that, because they didn't put it in the newsletter. I don't read like the greets or whatever, but or the meet and greets. But the only reason, because they did an all gas no brakes. You know, the YouTube guy that does all gas no brakes.
Right.
Yeah, he covered that one, and I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is going on?
That's
and
the
then,
funniest shit I've ever heard of, honestly.
But then there's like just random casualties, because then you have the tiny little pop-up tent with all the fundamental Christians that are protesting both of them.
Everybody, the guys that are standing up saying everybody's going to hell.
Yeah, with the bullhorns. Yeah, like,
exactly.
And I'm sitting here like, you can't win this. I promise. Like, you can't win this.
Well, the only person who wins is us, the viewers, because that's a fucking
absolutely. It's fucking great. But I love stuff like that, because I mean, it's them going out of their way, using their precious personal time to just be assholes.
Right.
But they're not. Look, I'm not saying it's not beneficial. I'm not saying what they're doing but couldn't be a good thing.
Right.
But it's just like the motives behind it aren't productive.
Right. It's kind of like mean-spirited. It's like maybe
It's 100% mean spirited.
Right, exactly. It's almost like a
Because-
backhanded compliment or something.
Yeah, because look, when Christopher Hitchens came through his fucking atheist crusade in the 90s and early 2000s, look, he went Muhammad Ali on these bitches. Like, he fucking knocked the Christians down and out. And then literally they had to change their entire approach to how they view science because of one person. And
Right.
like, they created Christian apologetics. Like, if you're an atheist, there's no need to organize. One man did it. Like, our Jesus, Christopher Hitchens, did it for everyone. Okay? Like, he already came. He saved the atheist world. Like, this shit right now, like, the number one thing about being an atheist is you don't have to go to church on Sundays. You don't have to go to prayer group on Tuesdays. There's no fucking reason to do it. Like, you can just find friends that you enjoy hanging out with and not discuss religion, right? Like,
Right.
That's the best thing about being an atheist is, I think, Philbo, you and I, the only times we've ever truly discussed religion is on the fucking podcast.
Which is weird because of our different religious stances and the fact that we really don't want to talk about it. not between us, but just on the podcast.
Yeah, but it's not pertinent to anything.
Exactly.
Like, it's not like you can't be productive and actually live a productive human life when 60% of it is taken up with talking about religion.
Right.
And
and I would argue that would go for any topic. If you're obsessing over one thing in your entire life, unless I guess maybe unless it's your job, and even then that's not healthy. Like, you don't want to be a workaholic. So
unless it's sandwiches.
Unless it's sandwiches, which we're going to transition to gracefully. Now, take your Reddit mod fedora off and put that to the side for a minute, and we're going to talk about we're going to talk about sandwiches. And we're going to talk about sandwiches by looking at a Reddit thing.
just pull up the graphic.
Maybe. Oh, I'm pulling it up.
Maybe.
So we're gonna go from the top here. So what was the background of this? This was like the top 40 sandwiches surveyed or something.
Yeah, so this is Food Republic. They started a few years ago, and every year, like literally throughout their publication, they do a lot of blogs or vlogs and like cooking shows and shit like that. But throughout the year, they literally have it's an open poll throughout the entire year where you can just vote on your favorite like top 3 sandwiches or something.
Gotcha.
So I think this comes from over 1 million responses, so it's pretty legit.
What's interesting, what stands out to me first of all, and I don't know if we'll go through every single one of these, but I definitely want to talk about this because this is a great topic of conversation for us.
Oh, I've definitely got some bones to pick with this list.
Well, and I'm okay with a lot of it. It seems like
the top six are perfect.
The banh, I don't think I've ever had a banh mi.
A banh mi is okay. So yes,
but hold on. Let's hold on. We'll get to that. Let's start out by bacon, egg, and cheese. It's interesting that a breakfast sandwich takes a top spot. Bold move, and I'm totally okay with it. I don't know if it would be that specific breakfast sandwich because I'm a sausage, egg, and cheese preference guy because you get more food with the sausage, egg, and cheese. And it depends on where you get it from and all that.
So as recently working for a fast food chain that heavily leans on breakfast, bacon, egg, and cheese is the number one staple.
Are you saying that's what people prefer, or that's what? Because I know I know that everybody. Obviously, I know people prefer bacon, egg, and cheese, and I feel like it's
okay.
Because,
so in my restaurants, any time that there are the fast shoots where you can just grab and put it in a bag and hand it out a window, there's between 10 and 12 shoots in each restaurant, and there are some that are so busy that are ordered so often you have to use 2 shoots for them. Bacon, egg, and cheese is one of them.
Gotcha. Yeah,
and because of where I worked, it wasn't the most popular, but I believe if it wasn't chicken that was being promoted, I think that's number one easy.
And I'm gonna take kind of a controversial stance here. I think as I've gotten older, I think bacon is a little overrated amongst other breakfast foods. Now, against other meats, probably not. I think it probably has a really a really good standing and where it is overall. But again, I just feel like yeah, bacon is good, but I'd rather have bacon and sausage.
Right.
And
But
it's just
now
to me,
let me just
filling.
look. There is something to be noted in this top six that of the top six, 5 of the top 6 involve pork because a banh mi. If it's not a pork banh mi, look, chicken can't carry that flavor.
Right,
If it's not a pork banh mi, notice it just says meat, but the like 90% of banh mi sandwiches are pork.
Right.
So 5 out of the top 6 are pork sandwiches.
Which is interesting. Yeah, maybe it's just because I love bacon. Don't get me wrong, I fucking love bacon, but maybe it's that I'm just not a huge like pork guy. But I also love sausages. I love like well, and I guess sausage is pork too. So, but I'm saying like specifically, like I love a capicola, I love a pepperoni. You know, I love all those other kind of like cured and
Like that's
Italian
pork too.
meats. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So I love that too. Don't get me wrong. So it's interesting, yeah. But I never. It's funny because I never think I'm a chicken guy, not a pork guy. But it's just because chicken is healthier for me, so it's easier to eat it regularly than just sit around and grease and fucking eat Italian subs all day long.
Yeah, I mean, can you beat an Italian sub though?
Italians of the subs, can you beat an Italian sub? I mean, there's some diehard meatball sub guys out there. But I'm just like I've never. Yeah, exactly. I've never
when given the option between a meatball and an Italian sub, it's an Italian sub.
Every time. It's not even a fucking contest.
Every fucking time.
Now, if you made an Italian sub and then put meatballs on it, now you're fucking cooking with gas. But other than that, it's an Italian sub.
Well, we're not doing Frankensteins right now. We're doing traditional.
Yeah.
But and also, as my Carolina roots, that pulled pork with the coleslaw.
And I think grilled cheese being number 2, I think that's fair because
that's fair. It's probably the most eaten sandwich across the United States.
Well,
every
I would
year.
say probably peanut butter and jelly would probably be more eaten than a grilled cheese. But as far as like
by adults,
yeah. Well, even then, I would say probably PB&J is more. It's still pretty common. But
I'd have to disagree with you there because I don't think. Like PB&J is a treat sometimes. Like that's something like you got some peanut butter, you got some jelly, you got some bread. All right, I'm gonna eat me a PB&J, have me a glass of milk, whatever.
I'm gonna hit you with a secret thing. You make it on a fucking tortilla, and it's 10 times fucking better. That's just the truth.
But the grilled cheese is like, okay, so we're gonna have a down night. I don't feel like cooking dinner. I really don't feel like ordering out and waiting on it. Let's do some grilled cheese. We got some good cheese in here. Let's do it. And even if you only have like Kraft singles, fucking let it roll. Right.
Well, and I think also, and I wonder how much of this is affected by. Sorry, I gotta go back. I wonder how much of this is affected by like the advent of the food truck, because how many fucking food trucks have grilled cheese or are centered around grilled cheese in some capacity?
That's true.
That's like so much of that is going on.
The grilled cheese has definitely it's made a resurgence in the last few years.
Oh, 100%, because it's easy and cheap to prepare. And that's just what you do when you go through an economic downturn. So,
anywho, let's move down to the next 2 rows, 7 through 12.
Well, we didn't even mention the BLT.
Well, the BLT is a fucking staple.
And honestly, what are you gonna say? It's a fucking BLT.
It's fucking delicious.
Now, first of all, I fucking love a Thanksgiving sandwich. We had these at Cheesecake, and they discontinued them. And honestly, it was one of the best sandwiches on the menu. Does it deserve to be number 7?
I don't think so. No.
I don't think it goes above a fried chicken sandwich. How a fried chicken sandwich isn't in the top 10 blows my fucking mind.
I don't think it goes above 9 through 12.
And what the fuck is a tuna melt? I disagree with you there. I'm surprised fried chicken isn't even in the top. Now maybe that's because I live in the South, so maybe that's skewed. But just a chicken sandwich in general, fried or not, like that's fucking like that should be in the top 8. I would argue.
Well, considering number 8 isn't a sandwich.
Well, I guess, yeah, but it's a taco. Is that what?
Here's the thing. A sandwich has rules, okay? It has at least 2 separate pieces of bread with ingredients between it. This does not qualify. You can call it a lobster roll, you can call it a lobster taco, you can call it a lobster gyro, you can call it a lobster wedge, a lobster wrap, whatever you want. It's not a sandwich.
So it's more of like because I sometimes I would it's hard not to call a hot dog a sandwich. It's not a sandwich, but it's hard. Like,
Yeah,
where else do you put that? You put that
it's
in
a
its own little,
it's
like,
a lobster hot
category.
dog, is what it is.
Yeah, it's a lobster
Yeah.
hot dog. It's a lot.
Well, I mean,
I would.
that's the great like cookout debate, like hamburger or hot dog. I choose
Right.
both, but
choose both.
it's not. Yeah, it's not a sandwich. It's just not. It's a fucking hot dog.
That's another thing. Well, how is a where is the hamburger? Is that not considered a sandwich? Because it's not on this list at all.
Ooh.
So a hamburger is definitely a sandwich. Now, it's a very specific type of sandwich. I'll give you that.
A hamburger is a
fucking
sandwich.
Yeah. So I think we got some skewed results.
Yeah. No. Oh shit. Because hamburger would be in the top 5.
That might be number 1.
That might be number 1.
Right. And I personally would swap Italian sub with BLT. And I would pulled pork would not. I don't even think pulled pork would be in my top 10, but that's just me personally. Obviously,
pulled pork is in my top 5.
Yeah, and that's fine. I get that. Obviously, to each their own there. But the hamburger not being in the top 3, get the fuck out of here.
Okay, so maybe it excludes hamburgers. Maybe that's a different category. Yeah. Because there are 1,000 different types of burgers.
Then it should be hamburgers and hot dogs in one category, and the lobster roll should get its dumb ass out of here.
The lobster roll, and we haven't gotten to it yet, but the gyro can suck my ass too.
Well, gyros are fucking good, but
they're good, but it's not a sandwich.
I guess
it's a Greek taco.
It's a Greek. You're not wrong. It's a Greek. So hamburgers, hot dogs, tacos, and gyros should all be in their own little separate category.
Yeah, because there's a lot of different fucking gyros too. Because then you get like you get the debate between like the fucking pitas. Like you get the Middle Eastern style, but then you get the Greek influence too. Like that's a whole category of its own.
Right, 100%. Where are we at in this? Shit! I didn't realize how late we're running. Fuck. Okay, we gotta move quick.
But the Thanksgiving should not be number 7. Like it's
the tuna melt should also not be in the top 10. That's disgusting. I like a tuna melt. It should not be in the fucking top 10. There's no doubt about that.
It's a popular sandwich, man.
I know it is. That doesn't mean it deserves to be in the top 10. I guess this is a popularity contest.
Yeah, no, this is like, okay, like given all these options, what would you order?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I can tell you it's not going to be a croque madame because I've never ordered that in my entire life.
It would never be. Now let's not go down the list without saying the cheesesteak, because the cheesesteak is fucking phenomenal.
Well, the cheesesteak 100%, but also how was the Reuben not ranked above the fucking tuna?
How is the Reuben not? Look, I had this problem when I first saw 10? This. How is the Reuben not only not in the top 10 but below the Cuban sandwich?
Yeah, I agree.
Get the fuck out of here.
Cubans are good sandwiches, but a Reuben
not better than a Reuben, and especially that not like that Reuben right there where it's perfectly marbled rye.
Reuben, yeah,
that's a fucking Reuben, bro.
Deli Reuben right there.
That's a Reuben.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, like that's that's below a croque monsieur.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. See, that's some bullshit. What did they they must have let Europeans vote on this shit because this isn't a sandwich. This is a side item in McDonald's, is whatever the fuck this is.
Yeah, whatever that is.
No, it looks good.
Like, I have to eat it with a fork. Get the fuck out of here. That's not a sandwich.
Now, the po' boy, special place in my heart. Obviously, popularity wise, it's more of a regional sandwich. And unless you've eaten a po' boy in the state of Louisiana, you haven't eaten a real po' boy. I'm going to tell you that right fucking now. They are just a special breed. You got to eat it in the local region. It's kind of like, why would you have blue crab outside of fucking Maryland? Like, what are you doing? No, that's not how you're supposed to do.
Yeah, so, just don't do it.
Exactly. Po' boys are so fucking. Po' boys for me, they would be in the top 10, but obviously popularity wise, they're not even going to scratch the top 15.
Once again, we're gonna scratch the gyro because that's not a fucking sandwich.
The caprese sandwich. I think it's a little underrated, not necessarily on this list, just in general. I feel like it's a one that a lot of people sleep on because it's a pretty solid sandwich. I don't know if it falls compared to considering the French dip is behind it. There's no fucking way. Like the French dip is a solid fucking sandwich. It's got to be better than a caprese. That's ridiculous.
So, yeah, and egg salad. You would choose egg salad over a po' boy?
No. Well, the po' boy's technically ranked higher than that anyway. But I love it. I love an egg salad, tuna salad.
And if we're moving, like egg salad, tuna salad is good. And now egg salad, I prefer homemade. I don't really eat that out a lot.
Yeah, I would. I don't think I've ever had egg salad out anywhere. Like that doesn't even make sense to me.
I've got Thundercat egg salad sitting in the fridge. I had a sandwich last night.
How the fuck are you gonna have a patty melt and you don't have a goddamn hamburger? Get the fuck out of here. All right. Anyway, so PB&J, here it is, 24. Surprised it's that low on the list.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah, I mean it's just a classic. You can't go wrong having a PB&J. I don't know what the fuck a Hambon Ware is.
I don't know. Look,
never heard of that in my life. Or a tonkatsu. I feel like I've heard that before, but I've never ordered it. I've never had that.
I'll just wait. The bottom one, the bottom. Look,
that's a towel sandwich. Towel fucking sandwich, baby.
That's a towel. We can't ignore a good fucking roast beef sandwich with. And
they're gonna have an open face sandwich on here. Get the fuck out with the Kentucky hot brown.
Like I said,
now that looks good. I've actually never.
It looks good, but that's not a sandwich.
Yeah, that's a hot dog specialty category thing going on.
No, if you have to eat it with if you have to eat it with a fork, it's like in the category with biscuits and gravy.
You know, that's technically
it's not a sandwich.
That's technically a fucking flatbread, is what that is.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. I'm not playing with you.
Oh, a Monte Cristo. People sleep on that. That shit is fucking a deep fried Monte Cristo.
I've never had a Monte Cristo.
Really?
No.
You got to come to Marietta Diner next time you're down here, and you'll get a good fucking Monte. Dude, that's a good sandwich. That's a good fucking sandwich. Where the fuck is a torta at in the world? Like, I've seen those before. I don't think I've ever eaten one. It just looks like
it's a Mexican sandwich.
It just looks like a roll.
It's a Mexican sandwich. It's literally like a small like baguette kind of thing where they just gut the middle out and they put like grilled steak and then the beans. Sometimes they put different shit in it, but it's just like Mexican flavors and like a gutted out roll. It is a sandwich because you can cut it down the middle. It's technically two pieces of bread, but not my favorite. I prefer not to have like beans and shit like that on a sandwich.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it sounds like I would try it, but and the other thing is the roast beef. I like roast beef with like a club sandwich. Don't necessarily like it on its own. It's fine.
Oh, the roast beef like an Arby's roast beef with fucking horseradish.
I'm not a big fan of Arby's. I think it's good, but it's just not. I would never pick that over something else.
I've never had a ham bone
I don't know what
puree or a tonkatsu. I don't know.
Interesting that a bagel. I mean, I feel like bagel sandwiches. That's kind of like you're kind of repeating categories because there's so many breakfast sandwiches that you can just convert into a croissant or a bagel sandwich. So like, I don't really fully understand the point of that. Well, on here in the first place.
They had to include the Jews.
Well, they got included with the fucking Reuben, man. Is that shit?
Oh, that's true. Delicious. Yeah, fucking Reuben. So. Look, then you get into there's another pita, the falafel pita. That doesn't count.
That doesn't count either. Also, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. The chicken salad, it seems a little low, honestly. Chicken salad's a pretty big deal. And you got your white trash bologna sandwich here too.
Oh, dude, a fucking fried bologna sandwich. Look, it doesn't come with mustard. It comes with fucking Duke's mayonnaise. But a fried bologna sandwich with toasted bread and fucking Duke's mayonnaise and little French's mustard, and it looks like they put cheese on there, but if you don't want white cheese on that, which you're gonna want to,
unless it's a white cheddar, maybe.
Well, you're gonna want a Kraft single, like you're gonna want to like keep it original.
We also got the liverwurst, which fuck that. Now the liver mush that I had in North Carolina, that shit was fantastic. Put that shit on a sandwich all day long.
But not with pickles and onions. No.
Oh, I would eat it with pickles and onions. Yeah, I could see that. It would be because to me it tasted like sausage, so it'd be kind of like you know at Waffle House they have the Texas bacon cheesesteak melt. That comes with pickles and onions. I would totally do that with liver mush, 100%.
Maybe.
Now the Italian beef, you got your Chicago representing here.
I've never had a bocadillo.
Never had that either. Don't know what the fuck that is. It looks like a very simple sandwich. Bread rubbed with cut tomato. They just you don't even get the tomato. They just rub it on the bread and then throw it away.
You just rub the... And by far the worst sandwich. How it made it to the top 40, I don't know, but the cucumber tea with cucumber with unsalted butter.
Delicious.
I taste nothing.
Yeah, why wouldn't you put at least salted butter on there? Like, give yourself a little bit of flavor.
or a little mayo, or a little Italian dressing.
If you've never been to the state of Louisiana, make a trip, get a po' boy. It probably will change your life.
So now here's the question. I already know your number one. What's your 1 through 5 from these options?
Number 1 for me, probably. I mean, it's gonna have to be a po' boy. Like it's just,
I was about to say it's got to be the po' boy.
It's got to be the po' boy, and then probably number 2 would be either a Reuben or an Italian sub. I'm gonna go Italian sub. Number 3 is gonna be a Reuben. 4. I'm gonna go with fuck. I'm gonna go. I think number 4 is gonna be the Thanksgiving, followed by the BLT, followed by the Turkey Club. I think that makes the most sense to me. What about you? Let's hear your top 6.
All right, so my top 6. My go-to, like if I'm just hungry in general, not in the mood for anything particular. Number 1, pulled pork.
Makes sense.
I love like especially the fucking pulled pork around here. Jesus Christ, you can't say no to it.
Right.
Number 2, I'd have to go Rubes.
Yep. Hell yeah. High rankings for the Reuben. Hell yeah.
Yeah, fucking Reuben number 2. And then I'd have to go. It's not on the list, but I'm gonna switch it to a classic club, a roast beef with bacon club.
Well, you just said of these choices, so you're breaking your own rules.
Well, there's a roast beef and a club on the list.
All right, I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Okay. So then I'd say I almost said Euro because I fucking love those, but it's not a sandwich.
Euros are so good.
I'm breaking rules. No, where am I at? Number 4? Number 3?
So because it's pulled pork, Reuben, club. So you're number 4.
Yep, and then I'm gonna have to go Italian.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna have to go with the chicken sandwich. I'm gonna have to go grilled on that though.
Ooh, I like it.
A good grilled chicken sandwich with bacon.
That would be my number 7. That would be my number 7, 100%. All right, what's your number 6? And then
rounding it out, I'm gonna add 2 more. I gotta go. It's a close tie, and it really depends on how the wind is blowing. But it's either a
croquet monsieur.
No, it's either a cheesesteak or a chicken salad.
I
love a good chicken. Like if the chicken salad's made right and it has the right ingredients, like dude, it says chopped chicken, mayo, and celery. Get the fuck out of here. Like
I don't like celery in chicken salad, and it's fucking chicken salad.
Yeah, but celery's okay, but like. Add a little diced red onion and add a little like if I'm feeling wild, add like some almonds or pecans. Ooh. And then if I'm feeling really wild, throw some grapes in that bitch.
No, keep the grapes out of here. That shit's disgusting. But I'll throw some mustard on it all day long. You ever been to chicken salad?
Mustard goes on, dude. Yeah, chicken salad chick. Yeah,
so fucking good. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so fucking good. But you can keep the bottom 18.
Yeah. If I only ate those sandwiches, my top 6 for the rest of my life, I'd be super happy.
What I'm saying, like one's a ham and cheese. Like I get it, but why is it on a bun?
I don't.
Why are you eating a ham and cheese on a bun?
Oh, but in the vein of chicken sandwiches, # not sponsored. I did eat the new chicken salad or Chick-fil-A honey pimento chicken sandwich today. Spicy, fucking delicious. So fucking good. Definitely might be a mainstay for me on their menu going forward.
Well, it's probably an LTO, so you might want to eat them while they're up.
Yeah, it probably is, but that's fine. Actually, I don't know. Maybe it's not because I think they're rolling out more associated pimento cheese items. So who knows?
I don't know. The honey thing kind of gets it for me. Like I don't like too much sweet on my sandwich.
It's not because they put like a tangy sauce on there. It balances out really well. It's almost
kind
of
like I will tell, dude,
Island or something.
Dude, chicken sandwich should be its own fucking category because like
it should be there with hamburgers, honestly.
Yeah, like Nashville hot chicken. I got into it a little bit, but not huge. But like a buffalo chicken sandwich,
right?
Woo! That's what I had at Bad Daddy's. Your bachelor party.
Oh, that shit was good.
Oh, that shit was fucking good, bro.
Yep. 100%
Like,
it would.
they literally like cake the fucking blue cheese on top when it's still hot, so it melts onto it. Oh my! And then, dude, let's get into it. A good like fucking
No, we
like
can't get into it. We got to get out of it.
like a Jamaican jerk fucking chicken sandwich. Have you ever had that?
I'm not a big fan of the jerk sandwiches, though. That's just me, though.
Like, it's got jerk. No, the one at not Buffalo Wild Wings, Wild Wing Cafe. They put the jerk seasoning on it, and then they have like a sweet and tangy kind of jerk sauce that goes on it. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, dude! Oh my god, chicken sandwiches for the win.
Oh yeah, it just made me thought of because I think at WZ Tavern where I used to work, which is Wing Zone, you could put like any wing sauce you wanted to do, you could put it on like fried chicken sandwich, which is fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah,
that should be this gold standard. Like I don't know why nobody else does that, but yeah, like a garlic parm chicken sandwich, so fucking good. That's my favorite. That's like my favorite wing flavor. So I'm a little biased, but dude.
Yeah, so I know you like the garlic parm. I never got into the whole garlic parm fad.
Delicious.
I don't hate it, but I like wet wings. I don't like
garlic parm is wet. Garlic parm is
sometimes
absolutely wet. I would never order it dry. It's always wet. Also, here in Atlanta, we get the wet lemon pepper, baby. So wet lemon pepper is fucking.
And lemon pepper is another one. Like if it's wet, I can deal with it, but if it's the dry lemon pepper, I'm gonna step aside.
All right. Well, we gotta cut into the end, so we're going into the chop shop. Abrupt endings here. Yeah.
Chicken sandwich. Yeah, chicken sandwich. Yeah. I really want a chicken sandwich now.
So you got chopped because I'm gonna have to cut out like 30 seconds of the episode. But other than that, I think it was a pretty solid run.
Well, listen,
I don't have issues with anything. I almost chopped you for breaking your own fucking rules on the sandwich list, but generic club sandwich I allowed. So
they made too much sense. Like, look, yeah. a turkey club is not. A turkey club is an alternative option. If you actually just pick club sandwich.
Yeah.
It's at least got ham. Like,
you know what? We should chop these motherfuckers for not putting a hamburger on there. Fucking.
We'll chop them. We'll chop them for not segregating tacos and hot dogs to their proper area.
Bullshit.
And for also not including the greatest sandwich of all time, the burger.
Quick question: Are you down to do tomorrow? Or are you busy tomorrow? Because I can do tomorrow before 5:30.
Let's play that by ear.
Okay, so we may be coming to you guys live tomorrow. If not, we'll be trying to fit in 2 more episodes sometime this week. Honestly, I don't know if it's going to be possible. We're going to try our absolute best because I'm going to be gone after this weekend. Getting married on Saturday, then I'm going on my honeymoon, so we'll be unavailable for 2 weeks.
And I'll be in Greece just on unrelated business for the next week. So
we're not in a throuple, I swear.
No.
Or a quadruple, I guess.
Brother husbands don't exist yet.
But damn it, we're coming to. As soon as you can pay for your relationship in right coin, then it'll be possible.
Annie will learn to love me in Greece.
Oh God. All right. So on that note, we're out of here. Thanks for sticking around with us today. Catch us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, TikTok, and what's the last one? Twitch, of course, where we're coming live to you now. Peace out. We'll see you next time, whether or not wherever that is. We'll see you next time, and keep sticking around, boys and girls.
Peace.